I'm Greg Clarke. I live with my wife Jodi and my daughters Maddie and Miller on our small 16-hectare farm overlooking the Southern Ocean, Victoria's Great Ocean Road and the coastal village of Port Campbell in southwest Victoria. This region is renowned as dairy country, but rather than have cows in our paddocks, we have ducks. We raise Aylesbury and Pekin ducks on our paddocks. Ducks eat far more grass than people might think. Our ducks also eat a lot more fruit. For them, apples and strawberries are also on their free-range menu. We bought our land some 20 years ago. There wasn't a tree, much less a duck on it. We planted thousands of trees, built a home, and while here, Jodi came up with the idea to raise ducks as a way to be a stay-at-home mum. When we decided we wanted to join the collection of small-scale farmers who produce food from contented animals, we had only one caveat on what we might do. It couldn't be fashionable. We didn't want to buy into a fad. Jodi made a list of dozens of options, including growing saffron or wasabi. When she came up with the idea to farm ducks, from where I still have no idea, I liked it as duck had been on menus for hundreds of years.
Nigel, back! Nigel, stay, Nigel.
We were lured by the historical connection of the Aylesbury. As a table bird, it was wildly popular in 19th century England. We discovered the bird also had rare breed status in Australia, which we considered a bonus as we figured it meant it might be hard to get and attract the interest of chefs. While the yellow-beaked pekin might be the most common breed of domestic duck in Australia, the Aylesbury, white-feathered also, has a pink beak. According to some chefs we work with, the Aylesbury has a light game taste, is leaner than the pekin, and its fat is deliciously sweeter. Everything we've learned about farming ducks has been from trial and error. When we first started farming the Aylesbury, we would often lose entire batches of eggs we had put into the incubator for hatching. In those days, in what seems a lifetime ago now, we couldn't see ourselves ever hatching enough Aylesbury ducks to satisfy our customers or our bank. When we were offered the opportunity to buy young, already hatched pekin, it took us half a second to take the farmer up on his offer. Ducks eat far more grass than many people might imagine. We feed our ducks fruit as well because it makes them happy. Treating an animal right is really important, and you can't underestimate the difference it makes to a duck to have sunshine on its back. But our ducks also forage through our paddocks, get to search for worms and seek out insects. They can wander fair distances, but we have Kelpie dogs, bred to help farmers round up sheep and cattle, that help us herd our ducks.
Nigel, push up.
Another idea we try to follow is to rear our ducks exactly the opposite way they are intensively or factory farmed. We feed our ducks fruit because it makes them happy, but it also gives us a point of difference from the industrial raised birds. We harvest some of our own fruits from the trees we've planted, including apples, pears and figs. We also get strawberries from a nearby strawberry farm. At certain times of the year we harvest apples from trees that grow along the roads of southwest Victoria. We also give the ducks a specially crafted potion of grain soaked in water and fruits. After brewing, we put this mix into feeders we designed ourselves and top up the tubs with more water. The ducks often search for the grains with their heads underwater. It replicates, in some small way, the way ducks can forage for food in the wild. Ducks can be harsh on the land. We're constantly working to keep our land productive. Our ducks sleep on hay we spread in the sheds. We get the hay from our own paddocks, and when it is fouled, we remove it and spread it back onto the paddocks. We then sow grass seeds and wheat into the hay, which makes wonderful fertiliser. In some smaller paddocks we nurture our own wheat fields and let the ducks forage through them and eat the crop. Our ducks have a slightly gamey taste. We attribute this to the age we raise our ducks until. We rear them far longer than the industrial farms. The flavour also comes in part from all our walking our ducks do. It can be a fair walk from the paddocks to the sheds where we keep the ducks at night, away from predators like foxes. We also like to think the diet of grains and grass and fruits, as well as all the walking, has an influence on flavour. We find it interesting that many of the chefs we sell our ducks to age the meat. Often whole ducks sit in cool rooms for up to 2 weeks, and this process further intensifies flavours. While some yield is lost, chefs can age our ducks because they are far bigger birds than what they are used to. Being part of what we see as a broad food movement, one where animal welfare and taste are of equal importance, helps keep us going every day. So do the kind words chefs say about our ducks. When we are out in the paddocks and the rain is coming in sideways, driven by a howling wind, and all the mud there is in the world seems to be in our fields, the words of the chefs, without a doubt, keep us going.